Hello everyone, Dragoon here bringing you another Union Arena deck profile video. Today we're going to be looking at my blue Kuna slash Kento deck, so SuKento let's call it. Um, so the last time I uploaded this was a different take on the Sukuna deck that was pretty popular at the time, but I used the other Sukunas and the 2-cost UGs. This time I'm using the starter deck Sukuna and the deck as well as a lot of Kento cards. Now Kento is my favorite character from Jujutsu Kaisen. So initially when I built this deck, it was just Kento. Then I went back and forth on different builds and stuff. But overall, I just feel better when Kento's in the deck. So I'm going to be sharing that list with you today. I cannot wait for volume 2 of this set because Kento gets more support, which means that I can play a more focused Kento deck. In the meantime, though, let's get into it. So starting off my zeros, I play 4 Kentos, 4 UGs, and 4 Nabara. Nabara plays a pivotal role in this deck, believe it or not. The on-play draw 1 trash 1 is great because while you're playing Sukuna's Fingers, you always have cards to discard. And because I also play the 4-drop 4/2 Kento, having cards to banish that aren't Fingers are important too. You also target with the other Nabara to bounce back, and just overall great chump blocker and stuff. These two are raid targets and obvious important namesakes of the deck, so a little explanation needed there. Going into the only 2 1-cost we play in the deck, 2 Nabaras. On play, you bounce back 1, and she counts as 2 energy. The importance of this Nabara just really allows you to start going into your bigger plays. So the sooner you get her out, the better. The only problem is I wanted to play a 3rd one, but I felt like 3 was too clunky. At least with 2, she's giving me what I need, which is the 2 energy gen. If not, then I just play 3 zeros, go to 3, and then orchestrate my offense through there. Going into my 3 drops, I'm playing 2 color UGs, 4 active UGs, and then 4 draw Kentos. So this UG, I have a love-hate relationship. Him requiring a finger to be in the trash to be useful is one of the more annoying things. I do play games where I don't see fingers, believe it or not. And when that happens, he's just a 3/2 vanilla that looks like a jackass. The active UG, he's like one of the only active triggers in the deck. And overall, he's okay. He's a 4K on defense. If you have Sukuna's Finger in trash, he's really there for the double energy gen and namesake. Now, this Kento is an all-star. On attack, you can mill the top card of your deck, target a card in your opponent's field with 1,500 more BP, and make it 1,000 less. So, the reason why this card is so good, though, is when you swing it and you mill a card, you can hit a raid and drop most raids to 3K, meaning that he can combat raids for 3 energy. And he doesn't require an AP. You don't pitch a card from your hand, you mill, which is great because Raid Kento wants to get into overtime to do some damage. Going into my 4 drops, there's a lot of them. I do play a single copy of the UG Raid now. This card went from 4 to 3 to 2, and now it's at 1. And I like it at 1. And the reason why I like it at 1 is it is a great flex card. Being that I don't have access to the 2-cost UG, it kind of interfered with when I wanted to raid, and you can't raid over raid. So it was just like, he's there if I need him, and when he pops off, it's great. He's great defensively, great offensively to push for game. But it's not forced, and that's the important part of this deck, to not force interactions or aspects, just let it rock. So while it is at 1, it is effective when you do play it, and you can always discard it if you don't need it. 2 color Kentos, hated this card at first, and now I love this card. He has impact when you have 15 cards or less, so when you go in overtime, he's ready to do work. He's a 4K naturally, which is great. The downside is that he's a 4/2, and he's pretty bad effect if you don't have 7 cards in the trash, and you're not going to want to banish fingers. So there's some upside to this card, but there's definitely downsides that make him less appealing. Overall, though, I do enjoy playing him. Him being a 4K body is still nice. 3 Kento raids. This was at 4, and then I switched on him with the UG, and I haven't regretted it since. While he is great in his own right, getting to overtime with him with damage to an impact, and he's always a 5K is great. But again, there's a namesake issue, so I feel like playing the 10 Kentos and the 3 raids, it just does not clash at all. And he's a great defensive unit as well, right? Your opponent will do everything they can to get rid of this card early, but it comes at the cost of their early offense, which saves you some lives in the beginning. And the last 4 are raids. For Sukuna, pretty self-explanatory. On play, draw 2 fingers in trash. He has impact, 1 finger in trash, 5K. Nothing super special about this card other than people hate him. And then the last 2 units, I play a single Sukuna raid and a single 6-cost Sukuna. This card is awesome because it is the ultimate like bounce, right? And I mean that offensively and defensively. If you have 1 finger in trash, you play it, Your opponent bounces 1 card randomly. Well, of their choosing, not randomly. From their field to the hand, their front line. If you play it when you have 2 to 3, you bounce 2. And if you play it when you have 4, you bounce 3. So if you're losing the game and you need cushion, if you've been blessed with fingers, this can take some pressure off you. He's a 4K with impact naturally. If you're looking to push the game, same thing. You just play him and bounce cards back. He's a great card. This Sukuna is in here because it was a good alternate Yuji. Like, you could play a second Yuji in here if you want. I just like the Sukuna for the simple fact that you can search for Shrine, you can search for fingers, and you can use Shrine on him. So him as a 1-up just helps, ascend the deck, I think, just a little bit upwards. You can play a second copy of this if you want, or you can switch this with Yuji. Like, this deck is super flexible. Just, season in your own spices and, you enjoy it. Going into the event and site cards, 4 fingers. This is obvious for a Sukuna to operate. Sometimes these cards suck because you draw too many. Sometimes you don't see them at all. Typical 4/4 special final split. I chose ratio collapse because you can cuck your opponent quite a bit. So if you notice like your opponent doesn't have specific cards or rate targets, or maybe you can just inconvenience them, you can, especially if you have multiple cards, you can set your opponent back so many turns. So like, one of the things I like doing is double racial collapsing and putting both cards to the top of the deck. And if it's not something they can use immediately, they have to action point draw. And when they do, they'll just draw another card that might not be convenient for them. So they got to play it back to that. I mean, otherwise the card goes to the bottom of the deck. But I just love the flexibility of racial collapse. And then 2 shrines, your alt win con when punching your opponent in the face is not enough. So that's another speedy deck profile. I'm going to try to keep it going in this way. If you guys prefer longer, more fleshed out, discuss videos, that's fine. I just try not to keep you guys bored. I want to thank you guys for watching. Until next time.